Now at 7, we have the latest on the Rowena fire near the Dalles. This right here is video our crews took of the flames early this morning just east of Rowena. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. Our top story this morning continues to be the Rowena fire, which quickly spread to more than 2,500 acres after starting up just before 1:30 yesterday afternoon. So here's a better look at where that fire is located. I-84 is back open, but it was shut down between Hood River and the Dalles throughout much of Wednesday evening as the fire spread alongside the interstate. We have team coverage with our Thomas Schultz out live just west of the Dalles and meteorologist Rod Hill tracking the latest weather conditions. Let's first go to Thomas in the field. Thomas.
Hey, good morning, China. Yeah, all morning long we've been seeing fire and flames and debris left over from what's happened overnight and into yesterday afternoon. Let's show you right here. We've, of course, a lot of crews are out here. This sign saying fire activity ahead, blocking that road. If we zoom in onto that Mosier sign, that sign and around it seems to have some damage relating to this fire. Of course, you can see around that sign as well, and even behind it, there's just debris and rubble basically left from this fire and this smoke in the area. You can also see, if we pan over to the left here, there's fire crews just stationed there. We've seen a lot of crews, dozens of them, all across I-84 this morning. Some have been just in caravans going to different places to fight this fire and to fight this smoke. A lot of hot spots around here in the gorge. And if we go over here, I mean, you can see just above I-84, that's the eastbound lane. Right above that on the Oregon side, it's just plumes of smoke over there, something that these crews have been monitoring all morning long, going into yesterday afternoon as well. And this is just something that, it's not just this area, guys. We've been seeing this all across the gorge this morning from where we are now, just sort of east of Mosier, all the way toward the Dalles is the area of I-84 where they're really battling this. Let's show you the evacuation map. This has just been updated actually in the past couple of minutes here. We've gotten some new updates. There are now more level 1 be ready orders kind of south and a bit southwest. Really the perimeter of this map is now all new orders. Those are again level 1. Those level 3 orders stretching from Rowena almost to the Dalles. And also in the past couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes ago, there are new level 2 be sent orders. That is going west from this fire along I-84. That's been added from Highway 30 west to Dell Road and State Road, and south as well to 7 Mile Road east to Mountain View Drive. Once again, those level 1 orders in the southern perimeter of this fire, those are new. Now in the Dalles, there are still level 2 be set evacuation orders, and more than 2,000 homes are currently under evacuation orders. Here's a little bit of what we saw earlier this morning as well. You can see just the whole hillside just erupts in fire. This was it was an astonishing scene as we were driving by on I-84 just right above us. Just an immense amount of fire and a lot of hot spots along the ridge as well. Now we know at least 20 homes have so far been burned in this fire. It's still 0% contained and has now burned 2,500 acres. It's key to note that that is information that's from the state, but it's from 8/18 last night. So it's a little bit outdated. We're waiting for new updates on those numbers, but that's the most recent update that we have so far. Of course, high winds have been something we've been talking about all morning long. That's been a factor into yesterday as well. And it's all led to a mobilization of task forces from across our area. The Wasco County Sheriff's Office is warning citizens, again, west of the Dalles, that they will see firefighters doing something called back burning. What that essentially is that they're burning ahead of the fire in preventative measures to basically stop it from going and encroaching any further closer to homes in the Dalles as they try to get this thing a little bit more under control.
This has been a very fast-moving wildfire. We're working very hard on stopping any forward progression, but we would rather be safe than sorry.
And a big note to residents out here from the county is that even if you are not under level 3 evacuation orders, if you feel unsafe, the best solution is to just go now and evacuate as soon as possible. It's also, there's some shelters in place, guys, here as well that are helpful for people that need them. The Dalles Middle School is an overnight shelter run by Red Cross. Down in Tye Valley at the Wasco County Fairgrounds, that's also going to be an area where you can bring livestock, horses, trailers. If you have any of that, that's the place to take them. And Rod, once again, I mean, earlier this morning we saw those big gusts of wind. It's tapered off a little bit now, but I know it's something that it's a bit of a give and take that you're watching closely all day long.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. A lot of great information there. The wind direction today is expected to be consistent, so that will help firefighters do what Thomas was talking about, get on the east flank of that fire, do some back burning, and hopefully build a containment line that will stop that fire from moving farther east toward the Dalles in Wasco County. Here is the view from the Dalles live, our Oregon Veterans Home camera this morning. There's the Dalles downtown along the river, and there's the smoke from the fire near Rowena on the Oregon side, of course, of the Columbia River. 57 degrees is the temperature. Air quality in that area right now being reported as moderate. Of course, could be worse if you're right in one of the main smoke areas. Here's that wind forecast today. All sunny. Temps will be up to about 80 out there. West-northwest. Now, Thomas has mentioned, and I mean, honestly, earlier you saw his hair really blowing. You didn't see his hair blowing in that last live shot, but the winds will pick up during the morning, consistently, generally gusting to 20 or better. Then here we are at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock later today, gusting 30 to maybe up to about 35 miles per hour. This will be the finale of these winds being this strong. I think starting tomorrow, the winds will back off somewhat, and by Saturday, the winds will back off a lot. Thomas mentioned some 20 to 25 structures being burned. Keep in mind, this is a populous area of some 900 people, and all total, the house numbers that are in the concerned area, it's like 491 homes. So let's hope we don't lose another one. That's your update for now.
Thank you, Rod. And now to the Washington side of the gorge, where there's some good news on the 2 fires burning east of the town of Carson. Skamania County firefighters said yesterday the Grant Lake fire is now contained, and they are making good progress on the Sandhill fire. SR 14 since reopened to cars. Officials say both fires started east of Carson near the railroad tracks. Investigators aren't saying yet whether it was train that sparked the fire, but there is a level 2 evacuation notice still in effect for people living near the highway to the east of Carson. Now stay with KGW as we continue to cover these fires and others ahead of the season. You can find the latest anytime on KGW.com or on KGW mobile app. You can also stream our newscasts and special coverage anytime. That's on our free TV app, KGW Plus.
All right, China, you mentioned SR 14 reopened to cars. Also, the previous truck restrictions that were in place overnight tonight through Skamania County, looks like those have been dropped. Interstate 84, of course, on the Oregon side has reopened. Highway 30, though, that remains closed east of Rowena because of that ongoing firefighting effort. All right, we've got a max disruption on the west side. Max blue and red lines are disrupted because of some overhead wire issues near Beaverton Creek. TriMet telling us that they're using shuttle buses to serve stops between Willow Creek and Beaverton Transit Center. Also, the red line, you're going to have to hop off that at the Galleria and board a blue line. The red line only running between PDX and the Galleria right now. All right, I-5 through North Portland. Slow and steady, says that southbound commute, right, coming off the interstate bridge. That's kind of a little bit slow right now. And over on the west side, the inbound Sunset, of course, the sun is right in the driver's eyes. So that is adding to some sunshine slowdowns there, but not bad. 18 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough. Our slowest commute right now, again, not bad, but busy. 16 minutes, your I-5 South Drive. China, that's the commute right now from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge.
Thank you, Chris. Portland police say it arrested 3 people after a lit flare was placed against the ICE facility in South Portland, and an officer was punched and choked. Officers say they saw one man stacking flammable material against the building just before 10 last night. Then they saw another man place a lit flare on the material and start a fire. While arresting the 2 men, a woman punched one of the officers and tried to choke him. All 3 were arrested, and the officer punched was not seriously hurt. The fire was quickly put out before it caused any serious damage. Now that is after Portland police said that they had extra resources on hand Wednesday night in South Portland around the ICE facility that's seen those ongoing protests. Portland police said it witnessed federal law enforcement deploy munitions as vehicles left the facility. Now this comes less than 24 hours after agents of some sort pushed protesters back. John Adams has the story.
On late Tuesday night, video obtained by KGW shows agents firing what appears to be pepper balls at a crowd outside of an ICE facility in southwest Portland.
Where's the professionalism? Where's the human decency?
The protesters have been here for the last few days, voicing their opposition to recent federal immigration raids and deportations. But the situation escalated during the evening hours on Tuesday, leading to the confrontation.
They were shooting the heck out of everybody very indiscriminately with pepper balls. In fact, there was even just a guy, driving home for the night who got lit up in his truck with it.
Agents can be seen pushing the crowds away from the facility with the help of an armored vehicle.
I literally got hit with flak from just being on the outskirts. I was nowhere near the initial situation, and it was like, wow. It was like, wow, how can you be that careless and that heartless?
This man says the situation started after protesters used debris to block the driveway into the facility.
I seen the Mesa woman standing on this wall right here. The cop literally stood from the angle and just shot her in the face with mace.
A Portland police spokesperson did say they responded to the area after midnight to de-escalate the crowd, but did not use force and made no arrests. By Wednesday morning, only around a dozen protesters remained, but they told us they anticipate to grow once again as the day goes on.
They're absolutely not following the law, it's just absolutely immoral, everything that they're doing. We're still continuing to show up, and I anticipate there's going to be more people tonight, too.
John Adams, KGW News.
Your time now is 7:11 on your Thursday. We are taking a live look right now at the coast, courtesy of the Chinook Wind Casino Resort. It looks cool out there, in my opinion, but I'm not the expert. It looks chilly a little bit.
No marine layer this morning, but kind of a partly sunny scene out there along the coast. I want to go back to the fire story out in the gorge just for a moment. This is our smoke model plume. This is the first time this morning I've shown this, and the modeling right here, you see the brighter colors, that's the main smoke plume. Now the wind direction from the west will push the smoke off to the east. You're going to see that with the blue shading. Look at the smoke just dispersed during the day out through Baker County. The fire plume lays down a little bit tonight with the cooler temperatures and then reinvigorates tomorrow, according to that model. The main thing I wanted to show you was the winds from the west clearly pushing the smoke off to the east. So you're not going to find any smoke as you drive into Hood River, but you get east of Hood River, and then you start getting into that fire zone, you'll definitely see the increase of smoke out that direction today. Our state capitol building, little hazy blue sky, 52. We're all dry and all comfortable today. Here's our Rose City camera showing more of a blue sky over Portland, 54. Winds are currently calm. Some of you are still in the 40s. Oregon City, good morning. 46 is your current temperature. So nice, comfortable start to the day. McMinnville and Kaiser each at 48. And as we saw a moment ago, you folks in Salem at 52. It is a dry day today, and it's mostly 70-degree comfortable temperatures inland, up to about 60, 62 along the coast. This does show a few spots, including Pendleton, and maybe the Dalles and Madras getting up to around 80 degrees for a high. Here's your 7-day. Very comfortable. 72, maybe a little bit warmer. But tomorrow, morning clouds could keep us potentially shy of 70. We'll see. And then mostly sunny, mid to upper 70s for the weekend, including Father's Day. Maybe Father's Day hits 80. I've got 78. And then there's a shower chance coming in late Tuesday through Wednesday morning of next week, at least a week system that we're tracking. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. Hey, heads up out in Klickitat County. This is a snapshot of Sadish Pass, US 97, just north of Goldendale. Washed out doing some road maintenance in the area. They're using a pilot car to alternate one lane through Sadish Pass. So obviously you can expect some significant delays through 3:30 this afternoon. Let's take you back down to Wasco County. And again, I-84 has reopened in the East Gorge, but US 30 remains closed because of those ongoing wildfire fighting efforts near Rowena. And a traffic alert tonight. I-5 through the Rose Quarter will be closed for about 5 hours from 11 p.m. until 4 o'clock in the morning as Pacific Power does some overhead power line installation. I-405 will be your detour around that. I-5 right now, that southbound commute busy but moving out of Clark County. And your inbound 84 drive taking you about 21 minutes now to get you in from Troutdale. We'll be right back.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Vidawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Vidawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team. Tonight on KGW.
Your time now is 7:16. We have an update to a church fire that we first brought to you yesterday. Police say the church was purposely set on fire and the suspect has turned himself in. This happened around 5:20 yesterday morning at the 130-year-old Sacred Heart Church in the Brooklyn neighborhood. Investigators say that shortly after the fire, Dominic Wall-Stevens called 911 and admitted that he started the fire. Police say they arrested Wall-Stevens at Southeast 26th End Division, and he's now charged with second-degree arson. Fire investigators say it appears the suspect was having some sort of mental health breakdown. Damage is estimated at about $3,000. We're told the church should be open in time for a 11 a.m. mass later today. Now to your morning rush. An Air India passenger plane bound for London with 242 people on board crashed shortly after takeoff today. Officials there say it appears to be no survivors. Officials say the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner went down in a neighborhood near the airport. In a statement, Boeing says we are aware of the initial reports and are working to gather more information. President Donald Trump says he plans to start phasing out FEMA after hurricane season, adding the states would receive less federal aid to respond to natural disasters and that the funding will come directly from the president's office. Hurricane season began on June 1st and lasts through November. And Brian Wilson, the singer-songwriter who created the Beach Boys, died at 82 yesterday. The family announced the death on his official webpage but did not provide further information. He was the eldest and last surviving of the three musical brothers who created the rock band. And that's a look at your morning rush. In sports news, the U.S. Open begins Thursday at the Oakmont Country Club just outside Pittsburgh. Bryson DeChambeau is looking to defend his title. The Open runs today through Sunday. You can watch NBC's live coverage right now on the USA Network. KGW will air the Open tomorrow starting at 10 o'clock a.m. And we have the biggest fan to the left of me, Rod Hill. I assume that you are tuning into that.
I will be watching.
Yep.
And watching.
And watching.
And watching.
Loves watching
four-day
that
tournament
golf.
through Sunday. Here's a look at what we're watching in terms of weather this morning. I see a little circulation, a little disturbance. It's going to be pushing inland. Right now it's marching some haziness and kind of partly sunny conditions with it. Futurecast says that's all we get, meaning the clouds never become thick and it would be kind of a partly sunny to even mostly sunny days. We'll see. Certainly all dry today. That's all I'm watching weather-wise. Here you can see some of that kind of partly sunny conditions, right? Little haze laying down low, too, from the Salem Tasting Room in Sherwood. But we have varying sky conditions. So from that wine country shot, where it's 51 degrees, to this wine country shot out in the Dundee Hills, Domain Serene Winery's camera. And that's more of just a mostly sunny blue spot. So that's kind of the varying conditions across the area sky-wise. 52 in Salem, good morning. 54 over in Bend, matches Portland this morning. 52 in John Day. Of course, temperatures currently mostly on the rise now in the 7 o'clock hour. Here's a look at our futurecast. Shows some of that kind of partly sunny conditions on the west side this morning. And then basically kind of mostly sunny following. That disturbance, the same one, will help produce a scattered shower threat out across eastern Oregon. This is overnight tonight. And then tomorrow morning, weather models like at least some low cloudiness to start. And depending on how that plays out, we may or may not make it to 70 tomorrow. And then here's a chance of maybe some scattered showers or a spotty thunderstorm out in northeastern Oregon. This is Friday evening, tomorrow evening. All right, valley forecast for today, a good one. Partly to mostly sunny, comfortable. Temperatures holding in the 70s. Northwest winds 5 to 15. This shows Salem and Corvallis each at 77, then cooling back down to the 40s tonight. Out in the gorge, of course, this is what we're really watching today. Northwest winds. That overnight last night, talking about that Rowena fire, we're blowing 20 to 28 consistently. This shows especially this afternoon gusts getting up to 30, 35 miles per hour. The Dow sits 80 for a high. Hood River hit 76 degrees. It will be a mainly sunny day. And then here's our 7-day, which is comfortable. 72 or maybe warmer today. But if we get enough clouds tomorrow morning, 70 could be a struggle to reach. Mostly sunny weekend upcoming. Of course, Sunday's Father's Day. I've got us at 78, maybe 80 on Sunday, Monday. And then a late shower threat Tuesday night into Wednesday of next week. But after the back-to-back 90s that Christopher led you through, pretty comfortable 7 days, sir.
Now, wait a minute. I was the first one to bring you that really nice, comfortable 7-day. Don't you forget that. All right. Hey, on the west side, heads up, we've got a TriMet alert right now. The blue and red lines are disrupted because of an overhead wire issue near Beaverton Creek. So right now, TriMet's using shuttle buses to serve TriMet red and blue line stops between Willow Creek and Beaverton Transit Center. So be aware of that. There obviously will be some delays there. Back to your freeway drive, I-5 south, slow and steady over the interstate bridge. We're about 20 miles an hour or so at SR 14. Your commute in from Main Street down to the Fremont's about 19 minutes or so. This is what it looks like up near Columbia Boulevard. So it's busy, but moving. Over on the west side, let's try that again. Over on the west side, door number 2. Going. There we go. Not going all that fast. Inbound Sunset, a little slow at the Sylvan Hill. Right now, we're up to about 20 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. China.
Thank you, Chris. Karen Reed arresting her case. Coming up in 2 minutes, a look at the trial that's taken the internet by storm as the jury gets ready to hear closing arguments. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
Tomorrow, the jury for Karen Reed's retrial, the woman accused of killing her boyfriend, is set to hear closing arguments. Yesterday, the defense resting their case without Reed taking the stand. NBC's Emily Akeda has a story.
After nearly 2 months of testimony, Karen Reed's murder trial redo entering its final stretch in Massachusetts.
You think your case is stronger this time?
I thought it was strong last year. It's stronger, yes.
The defense resting its case today, arguing the police investigation was riddled with errors, and Reed never struck her police officer boyfriend John O'Keefe with her car. Reed's lawyers pointing to crash recreation tests, contending O'Keefe's injuries don't line up with the collision prosecutors allege.
It's inconsistent with the evidence we have, with the actual abrasions to the arm.
Multiple defense experts telling the jury the gashes on O'Keefe's arm look more like an animal bite. One person not taking the stand, Karen Reed herself.
They have heard my interview clips. They've heard my voice.
From TV interview clips.
I mean, I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him?
To voicemails the night O'Keefe died, played for the jury by the prosecution. The prosecution says after a night of drinking, Reed struck O'Keefe with her SUV and left him to die in the cold outside of this house. A crash expert for prosecutors testifying that data from Reed's car show her SUV drove forward 34 feet and then reversed at nearly 24 miles an hour, just hours before O'Keefe's body was found in that area, now more than 3 years ago.
Coming up in our next half hour, the latest in the search for the Washington man accused of killing his 3 young daughters. The message police have for him as they narrow in on his location. Plus,
he may not be physically here, but he will always live on.
the community gathering to remember a local school bus driver who was hit and killed on his way to work last week. We are also live this morning west of the Dalles, where a wildfire has triggered level 3 evacuations. Thomas Schultz is live on scene to bring us the very latest. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues right after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on a Thursday morning drive, and we start with a MAX disruption. A TriMet alert here. The MAX blue and red lines disrupted on the west side because of an overhead power line issue near Beaverton Creek. And right now, TriMet's using shuttle buses to serve stops, blue and red line stops between Willow Creek and the Beaverton Transit Center. Back to your freeway drive. It's busy, but moving. Southbound I-5 is a little slow at the Interstate Bridge. Of course, your drive in from Main Street is about 20 minutes or so. From Main Street to the Fremont Bridge, and a quick check of the rest of the commute. 25 minutes now inbound I-84 from Troutdale to downtown. Rod?
Chris, you've had worse numbers before, right? Not too bad on the traffic this morning. We have a nice morning, kind of partly sunny to mostly sunny, depending on where you are specifically across the area. 54 degrees out at the airport right now. This will be a dry, comfortable day. 65 degrees at noon. I have us getting up to around 70, 72 for a high this afternoon. Tomorrow, there could be some solid low clouds in the morning. If so, we could struggle to get up to 70. Your weekend looks great. Mostly sunny skies both days. 75 Saturday, 78 or maybe reaching 80 on Father's Day.
We are continuing our wildfire coverage out at the Dalles this morning, where the Rowena fire continues to burn. At last check, the fire has burned over 2,500 acres and is still not contained. We have team coverage this morning. Rod will have more on the impact of the fire in just a minute, but before that, Thomas Schultz has a live update from the gorge this morning. Good morning, Thomas.
Hey, good morning, China. And all morning long, we've been showing you some of these fires. We're going to start right here with one we started with this morning at around 5 in the morning. This tree has been burning this whole time, the trunk of the tree, and there's hot spots all around this area. Of course, that's the big one right here, just east of Rowena, but you can see just some more smoke and smoldering, a little bit of flames up above on the hillside as well. And right here on this ground, this is all at this point just ash. It's all just smoldered and burnt overnight. You can see over here just some more fire. And it's important to note here, right after this fire, right up the hillside, is some homes that seem to be fine right now, but that just shows you how close this fire came to these homes just along the shoulder of I-84. And I want to come down here to I-84. We're just off the shoulder of the eastbound lane. Traffic seems to be moving fine right behind me right now. But what's interesting, you go about a mile up the road, ODOT has a slowing roll down in effect along I-84. Just about 3 or 4 minutes ago, this was all standstill traffic. Now it seems to be moving at a more moderate clip, but these cars and vehicles moving behind us are going to have to slow down just up the interstate as they go toward the Dalles. I want to show you some video that we got this morning as we were driving here just past Rowena along the hillside, just plumes of smoke and a remarkable amount of fire also present along the hillside. And it was just pretty astonishing and astounding to see so many hot spots just above traffic along the eastbound lane of I-84 here on the Oregon side of the gorge. And it was something that crews have, of course, been fighting since yesterday afternoon. I also want to show you an evacuation map. Of course, we've got a lot of evacuations in effect right now. You can see level 3 go now evacuation stretch from Rowena almost to the Dalles. Right now, residents in the Dalles are in level 2 be sent evacuation orders. And in the past 45 minutes or so, we've seen a lot more level 1 evacuations kind of around the southwest to the western perimeter of where this fire is taking place, as well as level 2 be ready evacuation orders as well, just westbound of Rowena going toward Mosier. So far, more than 2,000 homes are under evacuation orders. That number may have gone up just in the past few minutes or so. And crews from around the area have been mobilized to fight this fire, which of the last state report was at 2,500 acres, still 0% contained. It's key to note that report was from 8/18 last night. Those numbers may have changed. We're keeping a close eye on that. The Wasco County Sheriff's Office is warning people west of the Dalles that they're going to see firefighters perform something called backburning. Essentially what that is firefighters fighting fire with fire, trying to build lines in the sand as preventative measures to stop the fire from going even further. And county officials, as you could imagine here in Wasco County, are urging people to please pay close attention to this fire, regardless if you're in level 2 or level 1 evacuation orders and it's not a go now order yet. They do say that if you do feel unsafe or uncomfortable, the best case is to just go ahead and go.
Don't wait for us to put you in a level 3 evacuation. If you're concerned, now is the time to move to a safe place. If you are concerned, move now.
Now I want to bring that map up one more time just to show you where those evacuation orders are. Stephanie Crow with Wasco County, who you just heard there, also told us it's important to note on that website, it's called perimetermap.com, people can go and type in addresses. Wasco County Dispatch, she says, has been receiving phone calls of people wondering whether their home, a family member, or a neighbor's home is in a level 3 evacuation order, just what level it is in. She says the best way to do that is just to go to that website, again, perimetermap.com, where you can type in the address and it will tell you which evacuation level that address is in. And back here out live, we've seen wind gusts throughout the morning. We're seeing some more today. Of course, all throughout the hillside along the gorge, you're seeing little hot spots in fires like this one. This is a pretty massive tree that you have to imagine at some point this morning is going to be coming down after this has been burning for hours. So this is something that crews are just continuing to monitor. We've seen dozens of them out here, and we'll continue to monitor throughout the day. Back to you.
Thomas, thank you. Meanwhile, the governor and state fire marshal have deployed additional crews to help, including from Portland Fire and Rescue. Rick Graves says they are sending 3 units and will be working to do what they can to save as many structures as possible. Here's part of what he told us Wednesday evening.
We have 9 members that are going to be deployed to this particular Rowena fire. And as I said, we don't know how long they're going to be gone, but right now we're at 500 to 1,000 acres with a little bit of wind pushing it. So hopefully they're able to contain it quickly and they're back in a couple days.
Portland firefighters will be joined by crews from Gresham and Corbett to help in the fight against the flames. All right, let's head over to Rod Hill for a look at the weather impact.
Yeah, so this fire, by the way, is being declared as human caused. Now, that doesn't mean it was caused intentionally. It does mean that this fire was not sparked from lightning. So every other option, of course, is humans doing something, right? Whether it be sparks from equipment or what have you. Here is the live camera from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. And again, we're looking off to the west, and you can clearly see the smoke back here where the fire is burning about 2.5 miles to the west of the city of the Dalles in Wasco County. Winds, Thomas reported for us live that they were taking a little bit of a lull earlier this morning, but now they're firing back up. Northwest sustained at the airport in the Dalles to 24, gusting to 32. And we believe this is what the wind report will look like pretty much all the way through the day. We do expect not as strong of a wind tomorrow, and then much, much calmer winds going into Saturday. But for today, here's your projection hour by hour. West-northwest winds. It shows a 25-mile-per-hour gust at 9 o'clock. And then as we get rolling into the afternoon hours, winds gusting more to 30, 31, 32, and maybe even 35. There's 4, 5, 6 showing all that wind. And real quick, again, the wind is moving from the smoke, pushing it to the east, which is what the smoke model animation shows you. Smoke from this fire eventually going all the way across the Idaho border, and then there's that plume reigniting during the day tomorrow. Chris, lots of eyes on this one. Some 900 people live in that fire zone area, sir.
Yeah, of course. And Interstate 84, as we mentioned, has reopened, but Highway 30, which is on the bluff, the cliffside, which is right through the fire zone near Rowena, is closed right now, effectively from Mosier to the Dalles. So just be aware of that. We're just getting word, by the way, of a crash on I-84 westbound near Bonneville. I don't have any details on this right now, but it is starting to show up on the traffic sensors as some local slowing there. I'm working to get more details. I'll keep you posted on that. Let's get you into the metro area right now. And an overnight traffic alert. This impacts people really late tonight. I-5 will be closed in the Rose Quarter, both directions, as Pacific Power does an upgrade to a power lane that goes over the freeways. So I-5 will be closed from 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. I-405, of course, will be your detour. All right, the drive times right now, the slowest of our commutes out of Clark County, 20 minutes or just shy of that is the drive-in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. This is the live look right now at Columbia Boulevard. This is typical for this hour of a Thursday morning commute. Nothing way out of the whack, but it's busy, but moving. I-84 westbound is also a little slow coming in from the Gateway District, about 33 minutes now from Troutdale to downtown. China.
Thank you, Chris. And now to the Washington side of the gorge, where there's some good news here on 2 fires burning east of the town of Carson. Skamania County firefighters said yesterday that the Grant Lake fire is now contained and they are making good progress on the Sand Hill fire. SR 14 has since reopened to cars. Officials say both fires started east of Carson near the railroad tracks. Investigators aren't saying yet whether it was a train that sparked that fire, but there is a level 2 evacuation notice still in effect for people living near the highway to the east of Carson. Stay with KGW as we continue to cover these wildfires and others ahead this season. You can find the latest anytime on KGW.com or on the KGW mobile app. You can also stream our newscasts and special coverage anytime. That's on our free TV app, KGW Plus. All right, we are headed over back to Rod Hill for more look at our weather.
Yeah, 7:39 right now. We just focused on the fire weather out in the gorge. Let's focus on the weather from the coast and into the valley, which is all good news. It's going to be a really pleasant day today. A little hazy out there from Schnuckwinds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Your early morning number is 53. You have light winds. There's more of a blue sky over downtown where winds are calm out at PDX, 54. Kind of a variance between partly sunny and mostly sunny skies across the area right now. 50 out in Hillsboro. Downtown's at 53. Westland shares that number. In Camas, good morning. You are at 53 degrees. Our capital city, good morning, Salem. 52 for you, and Albany shares that same temperature. Here's the map this afternoon, which is all comfy. Mostly 70s inland. A few spots may make it to 80. This shows Pendleton at 83 at 5 o'clock. Temperatures on average for highs along the coast today, with kind of partly sunny skies as well, will be right about 62. Now here's the 7-day forecast. We have comfortable weather. It's possible that we stay shy of 80 this weekend. I've got 72 today, morning clouds, and then maybe struggling to hit 70 tomorrow. 75 Saturday. Father's Day, I've got 78. Maybe Father's Day hits 80. Same thing on Monday, but it's going to be pretty comfortable overall. And then a late shower threat on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And that is your forecast for now.
Thank you, Rod. The search for Travis Decker, the man accused of killing his 3 young daughters, continues this morning. And now police say new evidence has helped them narrow the search to the area around a creek trailhead off Highway 97. Sebastian Robertson with our sister station Seattle has the latest.
10 days after finding the bodies of Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia Decker, the Chelan County Sheriff is sending a message to their father.
So I hope he's watching. I hope he knows that we haven't given up, but you got to be perfect every single day, Travis. We only have to be perfect one day.
Tactical teams with the U.S. Border Patrol, SWAT, U.S. Marshals, FBI, and National Guard are tracking Decker, who they believe is traversing the backcountry of the enchantments. Hikers and residents are asked to stay on guard.
It was kind of unsettling. Plus, you didn't want to be out here if it was dark. You didn't want to be walking around. You don't know what's going to happen.
A break in the case happened when a hiking party reported seeing a man that seemed ill-prepared and avoiding others. A helicopter crew later spotted a man near Kolchuk Lake. A man they say ran from sight.
Just the behavior that we saw from the lone hiker did not match. That was typical with everyone else we were seeing up there.
Tracking teams on the ground, including dogs, followed footprints and evidence to the area near Ingalls Creek.
We have found items that are of interest to us that perceive that it could be Mr. Decker.
Law enforcement call the rugged terrain the biggest challenge of the search, but maintain they will not stop.
Every single day Travis is out there, he's going to have to aim for perfection. He's not going to be able to make a mistake, because all we need is one mistake and one day to go in our favor, and he's going to be in our custody.
And as the search narrows in, the focus remains on the lives lost. 3 young girls.
We want to find him. We want to bring him to justice. We want to set up the opportunity for him to stand in front of our courts and our judges and face justice and hear the voices of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, whose lives were senselessly taken by evil. That's all it was.
All right, we pick it up with a traffic alert on the Banfield westbound I-84 now. We've got a wreck near 21st. I don't see it here on camera, but again, this is out near Providence Medical Center. The drive is really starting to back up now on this side of town. I'm going to show you the traffic map here. You can see that solid red line from basically Lloyd Center back towards the Gateway District. So right now, the trip in from Troutdale is up to about 35 minutes, and a solid 30 of that now is from Gateway, from I-205 west to the I-5 split. We'll keep you posted on that as sunrise rolls on.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team. Tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Now to this morning consumer headlines. General Motors has announced it will invest $4 billion over the next several years to increase its U.S. manufacturing. The money will be put towards updating 3 of its American assembly plants. General Motors says this new investment will give the company the ability to assemble more than 2 million vehicles per year in the U.S. Walmart says its cake decorators are the highest paid hourly positions outside of managers, with an average pay of $19.25 an hour. The retail giant says it decorates more than 150,000 cakes per week nationwide, and it sees a peak during graduation season. And Coca-Cola is turning back the clock and bringing back Diet Cherry Coke. Coke confirmed the news after days of social media speculation. Diet Coke was introduced in 1986 and has been off shelves completely for more than 5 years. You can get your hands on one starting in July for a limited time exclusively at Kroger stores. Now, so for me, this makes no sense because they have Coke Zero Cherry and they've had for a very long time. Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke, and now they have Coke Zero Cherry. So,
but they're bringing back. Yeah, you've said that the Zero products are better than the old Diet products.
Yeah, I think Coke and Diet Coke taste completely different. I think Coke and Coke Zero taste pretty similar.
Well, that explains why I didn't notice it was missing then.
There you go.
Off the shelves.
This guy.
All right, what are we doing? We're starting with the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. I wanted to give you a reminder. I've been live on this with our Thomas Schultz since 5 o'clock this morning, and Thomas has repeatedly told you that he's getting some new information from the field, but a lot of it is coming from the 8/18 report last evening. Now, there's no guarantees, but often in these situations, the first report that comes out the next day is in the 8 o'clock hour. We obviously will have new information on this fire when you watch the news at noon, coming up at noon. All right, that makes sense. There's the fire smoke from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. The winds have picked up in the last hour, northwest to 24, gusting at 32. We think this is going to be a real consistent wind forecast out there this afternoon. Thomas has said he's getting information that the fire crews are going to be hopefully doing some burning to establish containment lines on the east side of that fire, which would hold it from moving off closer to the Dalles. Outside of that, we're watching this little disturbance offshore. It is throwing some partly sunny-ish skies our direction, if you will. You're kind of seeing that right here from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. This camera looks out to the west. It's 54 degrees. We actually have quite a bit of cloudiness from this vantage point. This is Persimmon Golf and Country Club out in Gresham, and yeah, some clouds out there, but overall it's a really nice morning. More of a sunny blue over the West Hills from Providence Park live. 54 is the temperature, calm winds in downtown. So we have partly to mostly sunny skies, depending on exact location, from the coast into the valley this morning. We have the smoke, obviously, in the East Gorge from that Rowena fire. Then we've got sunshine out across the east. Pendleton, the warm spot here in Oregon right now, with a current number of 61. Futurecast shows some partly sunny skies on the west side this morning, but then this afternoon, generally a lot of sun. Here's a shower threat in green overnight in eastern Oregon, and a spotty shower threat maybe later tomorrow evening. This is Friday morning. Now, Friday morning, this does show some low clouds here in the valley. There's that scattered shower threat later in the day, Friday redeveloping out east. So that's what we're watching. Valley forecast for you today. Partly to mostly sunny, comfortable. 77 in Salem and Corvallis. Winds northwest 5 to 15. Out in the gorge, what I just mentioned, that northwest forecast for wind, 20 to 35 mile per hour gusts. The Dows could hit 80. We think the winds won't be as strong tomorrow, and then they'll be much, much calm. In fact, they could be light generally in the gorge come Saturday. So that's good news. 72 today, 70 tomorrow. Morning clouds on Friday, a mostly sunny weekend. Father's Day have got us up to 78, maybe 80. We're looking at a shower threat the back half of Tuesday into Wednesday morning. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is birthday time. Here we go. All right, up first, we have a 1-year-old. There's Emily, who is 1. Happy birthday to you. Pretty bow in the hair there. Kareen and Ian, this is a family photo. 27 and 3. Nephew and auntie there. Happy birthday to you. And then Avery is 10 today. Happy birthday to you on this Thursday. Also celebrating his Jackson, who's also Sandy Kelso. I like the eyes of the friend in the background there. All right, Mercedes is 34. Beautiful photo, obviously. Happy birthday. And also celebrating today's David, who's the big 5-0. Hope you have a great time with your friends and family today. Out there in the water, it looks like. Randy's 61 in Portland. And also celebrating today, put your hands together for Beverly, who is 90 years young. Chris pointed out the beautiful grandfather clock there in the background. Happy birthday to you. Send us your photos and wishes to birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Rod, we pick it up with that traffic alert on the Banfield. This is from Lloyd Center, so you're looking east, westbound I-84. That right lane is blocked near the Lloyd exit, so traffic really starting to stack up around this. The drive time has ballooned up to 41 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. And again, a solid 35 of that is between 205 and downtown. So if you can take Sandy Boulevard to avoid this, good for you. And if not, just know that you're going to have a few extra minutes for that westbound I-84 commute this morning. In fact, door number 3, I think, takes us out past Providence Medical Center, and you can see how slow that is right now. We'll switch gears real quick. The drive through the Columbia River Gorge also being snarled now westbound near Bonneville Dam because of a crash there near Eagle Creek. One lane is blocked. Traffic is getting by, but obviously there is some local slowing around that as well. China.
Thank you, Chris.
He's just been a wonderful man, with a kind soul that would do anything for anybody.
Friends and family are mourning the loss of a Clark County school bus driver after he was hit and killed on his way to work while riding his motorcycle. KGW's Daisy Caballero spoke with coworkers and brings us his story.
It's just remembering him. It's heartbreaking.
A husband, a friend, and a coworker gone too soon.
He treated me like family. He was my family.
Greg Wilhite was a bus driver for 6 years, driving rig number 84. He loved his wife, motorcycle, and his job. Now his friends are remembering all the joyful moments he would bring every day.
He would talk to you. He wouldn't just go, I don't have time. You know, he would talk to you.
But everything changed last Friday after Greg tragically lost his life while riding his motorcycle through this intersection, heading to work just 4 minutes away.
We found out somebody drove by the accident, one of our drivers, and just said there was a motorcycle accident. And then everybody realized Greg was not here.
I immediately text Greg. Said, "Are you okay?"
The Clark County Sheriff's Office says a pickup truck was traveling southbound on Northeast 142nd around 12:30 and made a left turn into Northeast 173rd Circle. Greg was going northbound and hit the side of the pickup truck as it turned in front of him.
We're holding out hope against hope that it wasn't him.
His coworkers were devastated, unable to process the sudden loss, but still trying to keep things light. They shared a few things they'll miss most.
Is hiding of people's stuff.
Stealing your camera, your
phone. Scaring you to death. He just made everything happy around here.
Friends say he was the joker of the group and are determined to keep the humor he brought to the team alive in his honor.
We are truly a family, a dysfunctional family, but we are a family.
After many hugs and shared memories they'll forever cherish, I asked what they would want to say to Greg if he were listening.
I love you, buddy. And thank you for being a good friend.
He may not be physically here, but he will always live on.
Daisy Caballero, KGW News.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
We've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW+.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On weather impact alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Before we go, we want to give you one last live look out from the Dalles where the Rowena fire is currently burning. At last check, the fire burned 2,500 acres and is still not contained. But it's important to note here that we haven't gotten an update from officials since last night. But we do know that level 1 and level 2 evacuation orders have been upgraded in just the last 2 hours. For the latest on those orders, we have the details on our website, kgw.com. We'll also have live coverage of this coming up at noon.
And again, often the first daily new report of information comes out in 8 o'clock hours. We'll see. 72 today in the Rose City. Kind of a partly to mostly sunny day. Morning clouds to sun tomorrow, 70. Your weekend looks dry. Father's Day, upper 70s to maybe hitting 80 degrees on Sunday.
Highway 30 through that fire zone from Rowena to, from Mosier to the Dalles remains closed because of that ongoing fighting effort. Westbound I-84 snarled because of that. You're looking at about a 35-minute commute to get you in from Gateway to downtown, or 45 now from Troutdale to the I-5 split.
And like I mentioned moments ago, we will have more updates on the Rowena fire coming up on KGW News at noon. But we want to remind you that you can watch us here every day. We're here for you live exclusively on KGW Plus at 7 o'clock. Hope you have a great day.